Hello and welcome back. I was going to stream, but Twitch does not allow streaming of the social casino, specifically the one I use, and I wanted to do some of that. Plus, I got other things over here on my other monitor that we're going to look at that too. I do only have two monitors, so you guys may see the uh, infinite video at some point if I'm not careful, but I'm going to try to be careful as I can to make sure I move it over. Like you're only going to see it for a second. Um, I may switch to the Untitled card while I'm switching. I don't know yet. But for right now, it's called Untitled. Like a phoenix from the ashes, I'm back. I have been on the worst poker downswing in forever. Right now, I'm playing baby stakes. I had a big windfall early. They gave me free money. Free, excuse me, not money. It is not money. It is free sweeps coins. Um, or actually, this is stake cash. It's still SC, but it's stake cash. It's free stake cash. It is not money. It is not gambling. It is a sweepstakes site. You cannot pay for the sweeps coins. Buy gold coins, which are a free to play currency. You can buy gold coins, and when you buy gold coins, they happen to give you sweeps coins that can be exchanged for prizes. So, again, not money, not gambling, but specifically, like I said, stake.us, which is what I play on, is banned on Twitch. I don't want to get banned on Twitch in case I do want to go back there and play something at some point. I may actually get a game card so I can record my Xbox. I'm playing Xbox still. So I'm also playing. I am going to switch to the card so you guys don't have the disillusionment, but I'm also playing Raid Shadow Legends. I'm way behind the times on Raid, but I am enjoying it. I am playing Raid Shadow Legends and enjoying that. So, we're gonna do that. I am probably gonna do a couple of videos across the next few days because the rats in my brain say it's a good idea, and it's gonna be whatever Shade decides he wants to do. Um, We'll probably have some Legends of Runeterra. I'm also playing Arcane Rush. So it's going to be whatever Shade decides that he wants to do. I'm going to try to get this camera. Let's try right here. Let's try right there. I think that's probably the best place for it. I tried to do a little positioning beforehand, but we all know that I am not a professional streamer in actuality. In real life, I'm not a professional streamer. So we're going to do, if you've never seen Raid, you've apparently not been on the internet a while, but we're going to do 7 of these because we have to do 7. It's not really an auto battler, but I play on auto. It is a hero collection game. You collect different heroes. I do have Michelangelo, who was unfortunately my first legendary hero. I started playing a little over a month ago. And I did not get a legendary hero. They gave away Michelangelo free during a crossover. And I did get Michelangelo. And he's actually been really good for me. He's pretty much carried a lot of my team. I did start with Kale. I do a lot of research to figure out who's good and who's bad, and who is some of the best people to play, and who, is going to go around that. So when I'm not doing interesting things on the other screen, like when we're sitting and not playing pots, I will probably pull over here, but we're not going to talk about what we're doing really on Raid Shadow Legends. I'm doing my daily stuff, my stuff I do every day. Right now, I'm doing a quest. Again, like I said, not going to talk about Raid Shadow Legends. I'm going to switch over to the title card and switch back poker. And I'm going to minimize this because we're going to mainly be looking at the poker. I'm going to be playing 1 cent, 2 cents. Like I said, I'm currently on an upswing today. It's been the best day that I've had in quite some time. I had been on a downswing, so we're going to play 1 cent, 2 cent. Again, this is not money. It is 1 cent of stake cash and 2 cents of stake cash. It is $2 is the 2 stake cash is the max buy-in. There's currently 97 people at the table. There's 110 at the 4 stake cash buy-in table. But we're going to go crush the baby game. We're going to go crush the baby game. We're going to buy in for the max here. And we're going to go crush the baby game. Let me turn down. That's a little loud. Down. I don't want it off, but I don't. It seems loud to me. Let me know if it's loud. I'll watch the video back. This may not even make it on to the interwebs. I'm not gonna promise. I'm gonna decline the straddle here. I'm not gonna promise we're gonna make it. That really seems loud to me. We're gonna fold. Well, okay, we'll check. I have the big blind. I really wanted to fold that because even if I catch something, so I'm gonna get rid of the sound. I do kind of need it, but I'm gonna get rid of the sound because it seems really, really loud. I will check on that. We called 11. We got raised 11 big blinds by the cutoff. But I went and I taught myself. So I knew how to play Hold'em from working with my dad. My dad taught me how to play pretty much a lot of different poker games. And I knew how to play Hold'em from working with my dad and from playing with my dad when I was younger. But I didn't know all the terms and all the terminology and all the as much strategy. I learned some of it growing up, but um, I've learned a lot of terminology since I've started playing over the past month or so. Um, what the seats are actually called. Also, how to open up your hand in later positions. Stuff like that. And I'm really enjoying it. I have to thank. There's a poker streamer I follow. I don't know if he'll appreciate me mentioning him. He probably doesn't want just random people mentioning his name, but I'm going to go ahead. I'll probably email him and make sure it's okay that I mentioned his name during my video. If not, I won't put this out. But it's Sethy Poker. He has shorts on YouTube that were very entertaining to me. He also does streams. He streams on not Chat GPT. He streams on WPT Gold, which I do play on that too. But like I said, I play a lot more on stake. They gave me free stake coins to get started. I turned that into a small windfall. They also have a bad beat jackpot that ended up. It's very rare. It's not guaranteed. Number one, again, no money. It's not guaranteed stake coins, but I did get a nice windfall from that. Thank whoever, the Lord, whoever you want to say. It was a big deal at the time. Um, I am gonna say I've been going through a tough time lately. So if you were with me before, or if you've watched any of the Fight Me, or if you were one of the 4 people that watched the last video I put up, which was in polite conversation, I'll probably record more in polite conversation if I can actually get a stream going. I may get a stream going. I may stream something that's not the social casino, so I can get back on Twitch. I enjoy doing the social casino though. I really do, and it helps me to talk to you guys, to talk out my thought processes. Okay, well, we were going to see if we could limp in here with the ace 4 suited, but this guy here went all in. Probably with aces, maybe with 2-3. We don't know, but he went all in, and that's his life. A 6-8 suited. Let's see if maybe we can this, or if this guy's just gonna go. No, this guy's just gonna go all in every ship for the rest of his life. So we'll just let him do that, and we'll wait for us to have a pocket pair or ace king, something that we can generally take down. He's apparently decided he's going to martingale. He's got ace king, and he paired his king, so he's going to carry this. Unless a jack fell, which jack didn't fall, and nobody has the straight, so he's going to pick it up with a pair of kings. He thinks he's great. For over or betting ace king. He probably wouldn't have made as much if he had played that out, but he definitely could have. And that's one of the things a lot of players don't understand. Just shipping in all your chips, just jamming over and over and over again doesn't make you look like a smart player. It doesn't make you look like a good player. It makes you look like a fucking idiot. Um, don't do that. Don't just ship your chips into the middle to look like you know what you're doing because it doesn't look like you know it. There is almost no reason to go all in pre-flop, unless you're short stacked and you need to double up and you're on. But with a big stack, he was even at the table, and now he's doubled up. He's made some good hands. I'm not saying he's a maniac. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I don't know him. This is the third, fourth hand I played with him. Um, and see here, this is a sensible all in. She's only 9 big blinds deep. And let's use they for everybody. They're only 9 big blinds deep. And see again, he calls with queen 10. That's a very weak call. There was no reason to call that. No reason to cover it. Just give her the. He gave her 9 free big blinds. She would have gotten 1.5 big blinds, and he just gave her 9 free big blinds. It doesn't. It's not intelligent. It's not a solid call. I'm going to. How many people do we have? We have 5, and I'm in the middle position. I'm going to limp in here with the pair of twos. We have a backdoor flush draw, but we have the 2. So if anybody else has a flush draw, we're out of position and we're deep. We're sort of in the cutoff, but there's like 6 people, so we really don't want to bet. But at the same time, we do have a pair. We do have the backdoor flush draw. I'm gonna bet 6 here. I'm gonna bet the pot and see if I can push some people out. Like I said, if anybody follows on the straight, like this guy followed, so he may have the flush. He may have a pair over. There's a jack that does nothing for us. If he c-bets, he's not c-betting, so we're gonna cover like we got the kings, and see what he does. If he goes in here, we're probably gonna fold next round, but no, he gives it to us. He dumps it, and we pick up some. I didn't catch how many big 7 apparently right around 7 to 10 big blind. I was down. I came in at 100 big. Um, that was another thing that I learned from Sethi was putting my stacks in big blinds, which is way more important in a tournament. Here, having them in dollars or stake cash again, having them in stake cash is not a bad thing, but yeah, I really have to get used to playing stake cash. It is not again not gambling, social casino, not gambling, very much not gambling. I'm doing stuff over here on. In fact, I'm not playing a hand right now. Let me kick over. And that's exactly what we didn't want to do. That was why we didn't do that. And I am. Come on. What you doing? I'm doing stuff over here. I'm gonna minimize this. If I get a hand, I'll pull you back over here. But for right now, we can watch me play. So these are the tournaments I'm in, which you're automatically in all your. It's not like you would on, you know. My computer's lagging. This is the first time I've really started moving around and doing stuff, and I think my computer's lagging. I think it's kind of grinding, trying to do everything at once plus record video. I don't think it likes it. I think it's gonna load, blow up all over the place. We'll see. Uh, but the internet's not lagging. It is strictly the computer lagging. My internet's fine over here. On straddle. I'm 9-7 off. Under the gun. I'm gonna fold. Okay, so we've already got everything This is the classic arena battle. I'm mainly looking for dragon battle. Okay, this is not. It was not doing this before I decided to. It really wasn't doing this before. Like it ran through those battles I had it on with no problem, and now it's like we don't want to be looked at. We don't like it. Yeah, so I just have this chicken here. I could go for the chicken. I could go for the chicken. It's 11 hours, and we're not gonna have anything. A7 versus 6-3. Both have a pair of fives. A7 picks it up. Don't know why. Oh, A7 went. Okay, A7 was the small stack that we saw go in earlier. So she went on again. I got Jack Kings. Let's pull it back over to the other screen. This because, like I said, nothing's going on. Currently, apparently, does not really like to be looked at because as soon as I moved it over to the other screen, I did not have any problem. It's moving normal speed now. It's not giving me any loading issues. Apparently, it does not like to be looked at. So we're gonna call 8 big blinds here. I think we're gonna raise 8 big blinds here. I think we're gonna raise, try to get it down to me and him. Try to force people out. He went all in, so it's actually Joe Frapp raised. He went all in. We'd be risking half our stacks, a pot equity. Um, Probably got aces, kings. He could have any two. We want to risk 50% of our stack here. I don't think we do. Yeah, that's one thing I don't like is the. I'm gonna fold. I'm gonna let him pick it up. I'm gonna give him 15 big blinds. I don't like it. But he came ace, and then he probably overbet the pot. He probably did not have. See, and then he straddles. Um, and then see, here's aces. So let's see if we can get him in the same spot. Let's overbet and see if we can get him in the same spot because we have aces, and it's very likely that we're going. So if he ships all in again, because he's just very aggressive and very maniac-y, if he ships all in again, we should take him down. Should. I'm not gonna say we will. We're gonna raise. I'm not gonna say we will. He could have a pocket pair and pair his pockets here. So he does not like to be raised. It really appears to make him mad. So we're gonna go to 20 big blinds here, and I'm gonna kind of try to make him fight me and get in a PP measuring contest with me, and I have the aces behind. And yeah, he's gonna go all in. I have the aces behind, so I'm gonna beat anything that pairs him up. Yeah, he has ace king, which is horrible for him. I'm gonna decline, run it twice. He has to get 2 kings to win here, or a 10 has to fall. A 10 didn't fall, so we stacked him because he decided he wanted to be a big man. And see, that's why you don't play like that, because good players are going to beat you. It's very simple. Good players are going to know that you're a maniac and you're just doing. You don't get in PP measuring contests. That's why I made the disciplined move and I folded, which is what I'm working on, being 100% transparent. What I'm working on is being less aggressive, backing off of bad calls. So I was really trying to be disciplined and back off that first call, let him walk into it, and he did. Very next hand, he walked into it. I think that was a very disciplined fold, and then I think a small raise and letting him put his money in, letting him continue where he decided it was a fight. Not getting frustrated when the short stack over here was throwing poop at me. Again, I don't like the other emojis here are dynamite counting down, a slingshot that throws a rock, tomato. I don't even mind the tomato. It's the poop emoji that really aggravates me. I think this catches on fire. I've never seen an arrow. I have seen fire be thrown at other players. I don't mind the throwing. I guess it's for laughs and for fun. You can't actually chat in this social casino. It's got uh it's got like messages. I think once you get to be VIP you can probably chat. So Jack 8, Ace 10, short stack here pulled it in, which was nice for him. That's good. We're in the cutoff on a 7-handed game, Queen 5. Probably still not going to play it, especially with the short stack raising 10. She's risking a third of her. They are risking a third of their stack. They should, yeah, they should bet there. Double check to the cutoff. Now they're signaling threes. That's a very weak bet. It's very passive. So if they were wanting to bluff, they needed to C bet, and they didn't. And now they're in a really bad position because it's already called. If he stacks her, if he puts her in a position for stack, which is what he should do, he should put her for 16 big blinds. Put her a decision for stack, puts her up for 13 big blinds. She goes all in. He should just snap call. He does not, actually. He folds. She had sevens and threes, which was a great hand. I mean, she had the thing, but he should have snap called that. I don't think I would even. I would have put her in a decision for her stack. And she played that. They. I know she had. They have a female picture, but I'm really trying to call they. Their name is Starbeam, and they have a female picture, so they are probably a female or female presenting. But I'm going to call them they because I do not know. Um, they played that very well. I still think not c-betting was a mistake. They had. Let me. You can do a replay here, which I love. They had trip sevens on the flop, so I don't see why they didn't c-bet. Um, they were the last bet, so they definitely should have c-bet. Because that means that almost certainly nobody had trip nines. And then she bet on the turn, which was weird because yes, that gives her a full house. So I guess even if somebody had a 3, that doesn't give them a full house. But if somebody had a set of 3 for some reason, wasn't betting it because they had the small set, there's still, let's exit this real quick. I'm back. I while I was going discussing that hand, I donked ace deuce. Would have had bottom two pair with the best or bottom pair with the best kicker, so I would have probably donked ace deuce off from middle position anyway. I don't know if you can see me. I'm not sure when I'm down here looking. Again, I'll look at the stuff. Let me pull up. So I can actually pull. Yeah, I'm actually pretty well. I'm actually pretty well centered. I did a good job. I did a not talking too much smack, but I did a good job. Apparently, Raid Shadow Legends does not want to be. Let me see if I can show you guys now. And I'm gonna over because I'm not doing anything on the other. Okay, there we go. There's Raid. There's Raid. If I get a hand, I'll bring you back over here. But right now, you guys can watch Raid and listen to me talk. 6 King offsuit in the big blind. Pardon me. 6 King offsuit in the big blind. Nothing to write home about. We get a raise from late low jack, and then a call from right behind. So we're gonna fold that. Call from small blind. So we're gonna fold that. We get the re-raise from hijack, and now we got small blind folding. All in queens. Aces and queens picks it up, all in on the under the gun. Under the gun picked up a nice pot there. That was a really good pot. 3-7 off. Not playing that on small blinds. You guys can watch me beat up the dragon. The first enemy you see in the game. Tutorial, it's actually really cool. Watch me beat up the dragon while I do that. Like I said, if I get a hand, I'll bring it inside. But I don't see why you guys want to watch me sit here and hold hand. I mean, there's some interesting stuff. Queen 7 that went all in for no reason. Ace Jack into a donked into a ace high straight right off the rip, but he didn't get anything because he was very stacked. Which is the worst feeling in the world. Trust me, I've been there. 5-7 suited. On the button. We're gonna call. We're gonna limp in here, or we're gonna try to limp in here. I don't generally. Woo. Okay. Small blind raise to 24 big blinds. We're gonna let them have that. We're not. We're not. We're not playing 5-7 suited. 24 big blinds. Even if I flopped a straight flush, I would still feel perfectly fine about that decision. We got a DC from them, the Starbeam feed. Aces. Ace 3 ace. Rainbow board here. Okay, we have another all in. 6-8 went all in for no apparent reason. Pocket tens. And again, this guy takes it down. This guy has to be hating his stack size right now because he's had 2 monster hands. And he's taken down very, very. I'll actually bring you guys over so I can talk. I'm gonna title card. I'm gonna move it over and I'm gonna poker real quick. This guy right here, FJV 40. This person has to feel really bad. They have had 2 monster hands and got very little paid off. I mean, they plotted up. I mean, they came in with less than they came in with 40 because the minimum you can have is 40. They went down to like 10 or 20, and they've come back up now strong to 7.5. I think they came in with 40. I wasn't watching them prior to them short stacking, doubling up again. The last 2 hands have been good for them, and they're now up at 71 big blinds. They keep playing though, so I don't know if they have. That's probably how they got down so far. It's almost certainly how they got down so far. If I went back and reviewed the footage, it's almost certainly how they got down so far. They're too loose. They just caught good hands and then bet strong. Like he should fold here. It really doesn't matter what he has. He's kind of out of position. He's going to raise, go all in again. He's got Jack 8, which is top 2 pair, which is great. Again, he has made some monster hands and some calls. I'd have to go back and watch the footage, but I don't think they've been, like I said, number one, he's playing a lot of hands. That last hand was Jack 7, and he happened to, I mean, he happened to full boat. I mean, that was amazing. That was flat out monstrous. But he's playing Jack 7 off, out of the small blind. That is not a winning position, even though he just doubled up off of it. And he's made, see, this is a very strong raise, even if he has ace queen. Betting 69, nice, by the way. Nice. Betting 69, he has aces. He has ace queen, so he's gonna stack him. Is that the whole stack? Yeah, that's not the stack, but it's He just lost everything he got back that last hand because he bet ace 10. He bet too hard. There was no reason to stack 69. I'm 10-4 off. I can't get a hand, but I don't mind doing the poker commentary. There was no reason to stack 69. Like I said, I love it's a hilarious number. It's great. It's nice. There was no reason to stack 69. There was absolutely no reason to do that. It was too big of a bet in that spot. There was no reason to make that push. Um, it caused him to end up going all covering this guy's all in and doubling him up. Um, and if he would have played it slower, he still would have lost, obviously. But he would have had an opportunity to duck out, thinking, okay, this guy may have me covered. Where I have ace 10 and he could have ace king, ace queen, ace jack. Um, there's other hands he could have, and the way he's betting signals that he's and see now he's tightening up. He's becoming more passive. Well, he's becoming more passive. He's still not tightening up. He just played that hand as well, which is like his fifth or sixth hand in a row. We can't get a hand to save our lives. We'll check this if it's around. We'll take Jack 7. Again, I'm not normally going to play Jack 7, so Starbeam raises. We're going to fold. I'm not normally going to play Jack 7 off. Like I said, I know he just made that FJB5 just made a I want to say they made a full house off of it. But and then see we have a raise. Jack Dean's raise. And then all in, that's a great move with that stack. Even if they don't really have anything, which they have ace. We got fives and threes. Threes is good. But I don't know what the pot equity was on that. Is it 223 going to him? Yeah. Wow. Okay. Maybe that wasn't a great push. But that's only because these guys are maniacs. He called with pocket threes. He called with pocket fives. Pocket threes is an insane call there. Again, this is like the second or third time I've seen this person here go all in. And he went all in with ace jack last time. He seems to like every time he gets an ace, he wants to go all in, and that is not a winning proposition. That's not, again, I think I mentioned this earlier in the video, that's not how you play. That's not how you win at cards. That's not how you win at Hold'em. I think when I stacked this guy that was right here, it's not this particular person, but when I stacked the individual right here, I was talking about it then. He kept going really hard. He kept going all in. He kept being very, very aggressive. And like I said, that's something I'm struggling with. I'm struggling. I haven't had a lot of problems being tight, but being too aggressive, getting too locked into a hand, missing, like right here, there's a straight draw on the board. And if I was in the hand, I may not see that. See, he had ace 9 suited. He got really excited and went all in. And he's got a solid draw here. You know, he could very well, but see, he doesn't make his gut shot. He had a gut shot. He had a couple of different straights that he could have pulled. They could have pulled. They didn't. They did. I will be calling this person here that keeps throwing poop a she because their name is Nicole. Pocket sixes on the button. We love that. We're gonna raise. We're actually gonna raise lines. I would normally go 3 big blinds, but pocket sixes on the button. We're gonna go 4 big blinds. Uh, see if he re-raises. He raised the initial. He may be off getting a drink, something, which may make him fold. Stop throwing poop a monkey. All right, there we go. Okay. Horrible, horrible flop for us. You're like 3 days late with that dynamite countdown. Horrible, horrible flop for us. We didn't make our set. Queens paired, aces paired. Horrible flop for us. So we're gonna, even though we 3-bet, pre-flop, when you don't make it, you let it go. At this point, he's just trolling them, I think, intentionally taking extra time. We're gonna fold. 4-5 ace again. It's a shotgun board. Even if we would have ended up with a set, which we wouldn't have, we would have had 3 overpairs here plus actual over aces. So you had 2 pair aces and fives down. Ends up with 8 big blinds, a little 5. We keep getting people in, and we're having problems keeping people because there are 1, 2, 3, 4 people that are over the biggest stack that you can bring to the table. We have Queen 10 and a cutoff. Raise. Queen 10 suited in the cutoff, possibly plays. Acceptable. We paired our queen, but we have an ace over. So let's bet the pot, which is kind of a small bet at this point, and we get a call. So that call could be an ace. We get 2 calls. Or that call could have been a flush draw. Let's bet 50% of the pot. I want to stay aggressive here. And we keep getting snap called. So that's not good. And again, we're still here. We got 2 pair. I'm going to check to. So, okay, see, she's out. We got 4s. We got 2 pair. Does she have the ace? She doesn't. So we pick it up. She was betting again. Nicole is betting very, very, very aggressively. Apparently, without the ability to back it up. We're gonna fold 5-4 offsuit here. Again, we get a re-raise from the small stack. If there are any names here that are offensive, I will cover them up. So if you don't see someone's name, it's because I considered it offensive, and I covered it up. I've seen some relatively offensive names on stake. I will say that I've seen some relatively offensive names. Um, you know, people spelling things weird ways so they can get away with saying things like poo poo and pee pee because they're very childish. 4 cards to a flush. Ends up at jacks and aces. Starbeam mucks it out. Didn't have anything. Queen 6 off. +1. We fold that. That's not a hand we want to play. Even especially against the maniacs at this table, we're out of position. It doesn't have any connection. It's just a bad hand. Jave Hacken is probably taking advantage of one of the things that this game offers you, which is the ability to wait for the big blind rather than putting in an extra big blind, which is nice. I used to do it a lot. Now, recently, I've been just getting into the action. If I got to pay an extra big blind to get into the action, that's fine. Um, it is good for getting a feel for the table, especially if you're going to come in small stacked, which he is. He's coming in stack. So it's good for getting a feel for the table. You can watch 3 or 4 orbits, get an idea of monster. I mean, who's a maniac, who's a nit, um, who you got to watch out for. These are all poker terms. You guys may not understand them. I'll try to explain most of what I say, but I'm not going to go, if you guys want to know, do the same thing I did, which would go into a AI large language model and Google it. Search for it, whether it's Gemini, ChatGPT, whatever. Dogefish says he's tired. He's that we're going to decline the straddle here. Six Jack, back off. Okay, J Falcon wasn't waiting for, or he decided to not. I guess he didn't want to wait for a whole orbit because it would have been basically a whole orbit to get back on. So either he wasn't waiting for a big blind and I was wrong, but I may not have been paying attention, but I swear that he set out more than one hand, which normally means that they are waiting on a big blind. But he may have just set out the one hand and I wasn't paying attention. Highly possible. I'm kind of dumb. Doing stuff over here on trade, getting thing stuff. I'm probably gonna bring you guys over when I open my. I'm about to open 3 of the not like super rare. The second best crystal. About to open like. I'll probably bring you that. That'll be exciting. Not really. It won't really be. I mean, I guess. I mean, I could technically get a legendary champion. The minimum I'll get is rare. The best I can get is legendary. I could technically get a legendary champion. We'll see. Real quick, I'm gonna go ahead and finish. I got to upgrade accessories. Accessory 12. And then I gotta use glyphs. But we'll use the glyphs on the go. Give her attack. 7-4 off. We really want to fold this. I would really like somebody to properly play this hand, raise, not limp around. Somebody please don't limp around, no? Alright, so we're gonna check this because we're not gonna toss it. You never throw away. I've had 7-4 win a hand, literally this exact hand, because the turn and the turn in the river were 7 and 4. I had 2 pair, and I bet it. I was like, sure, why not? I'm gonna dunk that because again, it checked around to me, so I didn't get a bunch. I got I think maybe 10 big blinds. I think it was like the whole pot was like 10 big blinds. So I didn't get a bunch, but I did get. I won a pot that I completely and totally shouldn't have won if they would have been, betting properly. My youngest son has a real problem with me saying that, saying betting properly or playing correctly. He says there's no right way to play. He is very much not a gambler. He is a gambler actually. He is in it for the thrill. So Jackson 5, we get a muck. Don't know what he was playing for. Why that made no sense. He basically just donated chips to Mollywop. Um, we're gonna limp 6-5 off. We haven't played in a while. No, we're not because Mollywop's gonna raise to 9. And we're not paying 9 big blinds for 6-5 off. We haven't played a hand in a while. I will say that it's been a minute. I'm aware of that, but that is what playing tight means. It means that you're not going. Sometimes you're just not going to play hands 10, 15 minutes. That's just how it is. Sometimes you're not going to play hands. You're just sit there and you're going to stare at people and you're going to wait for the opportunity to play a good hand, to do, and succeed. So, uh, you know, that is what playing tight means. That is what playing correct means in my book. And yeah, I mean that's what I don't even think that's in my book. That's in anybody's book. 7.5, very very aggressive, saying that they have the flush draw or aces. If they have aces here, they should not bet because there's a flush draw on the board. But he didn't bet the flush draw, so he probably doesn't have it. He keeps calling, so he's on maybe a 4-card flush draw, hoping that he'll make it there, and she's on aces. He didn't. He's checking. He should bet about a quarter of the pot, a third of the pot. She bets, overbets the pot, overbet jams, and takes it down anyway. I think she, like I said, I think she could have taken less equity if he had taken less pot equity if he had been really, really slow playing something. He very well could have been slow playing, and she overpot jams, and he could have taken her down. A really good player could have taken her down. So we have top pair here, backdoor flush, like a very very backdoor flush draw. We got to go runner. We have top pair with a deuce kicker. Plus we're on the button, so we have pot control. So we're go ahead and bet the pots, which should push at least a couple of people out. Kyle is a calling station, as we saw last time. Mollywop may try to come over the top of us. If she does, we're gonna rebet it. We didn't. We now have two pair. So we're gonna bet the pot and hope the calling station bets us. No. Okay, so he folds. That's fine. That's fine. We got we got uh we got like 10 big blinds out of him that we may have wanted to bet smaller there to try to keep the calling station on the line. We don't know what he had. Probably, almost certainly would have won that hand. And if I could have kept him on the line, that would have been the better way to go, obviously. Um, but he is the calling station, so I'm not sure what I would have had to bet to keep on the line. I'm not sure what he would call and what he would, basically. I think it's better to I think it's better to overbet there than underbet and have him somehow make something on the river and us over. Sorry, fuck us over. Apologies. I bleeped myself there, which is something I have a habit of doing from when I was working in call centers. I can say fuck now if I want to. Uh, I do put my channel, obviously, especially when I'm doing social casino content, kings and aces, an ace one with the mollywop. Um, there's is adult only. I do put him as adult only. Let's 9-2. Let's this 9-2 off. So here is one of those names. I don't think I'm gonna blank Pat McCrotch out. Um, it's not that offensive, but this is one of those lovely names talking about um, when we're saying talking about people being childish. She raised again. She is very aggressive. I've seen her raise with poor hands. Um, so he re-raised. Actually, she re-raised and then he re-raised. Because I want to say he started off on 3 and then they folded and then she goes to 20. That is you. She goes to 35. This is probably a PP contest. Sir should get out of there. You should fold. Should fold. You don't have the cards. Whatever they are, you don't have the cards. Unless you have aces, and even if you have aces, that's not a guarantee. You don't want to get in the middle of this PP contest between people. You should fold. No, don't. Stop thinking and fold. fold. Just, it's hilarious. Fold. Okay, so he's, at this point now, they are running time just to be prick. They're probably, yeah, they're going to fold. Way to go. And the calling station is still calling. She re-raises again to stack him. So is he actually going to call for the stack? I mean, he had to expect her to do this. Yeah, okay. So he's calling all in. Hopefully he has aces. I don't know what else he would have gone back and forth with. She's going to try to stack the calling station too. The calling station will probably fold. Nope. Calling station went all in with ace-5. He had 9-6 suited, which is a horrible hand. I don't know why they thought they were going to stack with that. And then Molly picks it up with the flush, stacking 2 players at once. Great hand. Great hand. Still, I would not have done all that pre-flop. That was a nice hand. I would not have done all that pre-flop. I don't think that was necessary. I don't think that was a good idea. I don't think they're a fish at all. I don't think Molly Wop's a fish. I completely disagree with Sir 420. I think they're just angry. I did mean the nice hand. Again, I don't think I would have been that aggressive pre-flop. I think I would have, especially with, I want to say it was like Queen 9 suited. Something that just got there and very much could have not got there. So it looks like they're amazing, but it's really a luck box. All in here, 10 high straight. That is gorgeous. That is how you play. So J-Packing picking up the 39.5 big blinds. That is how you play. That is right where you want to be. She gave him the nice hand, or Molly Wop gave him the nice hand. I'm going to give him the nice hand. I'm going to fold 5. He deserved that. He played that to the bone. He played that very well. I was not paying a lot of attention, but he was short stacked, and I think he went all in just perfect. He's in another hand though, and this may have been the same guy I was talking about. No, this isn't the same guy I was talking about earlier. The last guy that was in this chair was too loose, and they kept kind of luck boxing into. Now he may have ace king here because he's got the calling station on the line. I hope the calling station has like $1,000 in their account, 1,000 sweeps stake cash in their account. I hope they have 1,000 stakes cash in their account. Calling station. Let's see if he's going to fold here or if he's going to call. Going to fold because stack, so may not have that much back. And Jay leaves, which was a great plan. I mean, if you're not going to sit here and play out, then leaving when you stack a couple of people or basically stack a couple of people, double or triple your stack's a great plan. I do something, but I'm with you guys, and I'm going to stay here for a while. I normally go to bed close to this time. I've taken my my nighttime meds. So I probably will only be recording for about another hour, and that will still be later than I normally stay up. I normally have already eaten by now, and I'm getting ready to go to bed. I would probably be off social casino, still running this in the background, watching some TV. But I wanted to spend time with you guys. The rats in my brain said come spend time with people in beds. And sometimes I listen to the rats in my brain. Sometimes I listen to the rats in my brain. I try to get rid of the rats in my brain. This calling station here is just getting beatboxed. I would love to see the calling station win a hand just so he can keep dumping money back to us. I would love to see him pick up a hand here, but nope. Molly Wop's got queen sevens. He's betting 7-3 offsuit. I would love the calling station. Do you have more money that you would like to more stake coins that cast that you would like to donate to the table? Yes, yes you do. Yes you do. He has 2 more stake cash that he would love to donate to the table, and we're excited about that. Because we love fishies here. Another good thing here about this particular, so we're gonna check. This guy here has been very rock, very rock. We got bottom pair on what's possibly the most connected board of all time. So we're gonna check. Now we have kind of middle pair, but not really. So I bet probably on a flush draw. With the new cards, probably got 4 spades. But we're gonna let him. We're gonna let him take it and molly. Um, so one of the nice things here is we can actually notate this guy, and he is a fish. It is not nice to call him a fishy, but I don't care. I want to know, and now he's got a little thing next to him. He's got the king high straight. He had king jack off. I didn't see. Uh, Q5 in the small blind. If it comes around to me, I'm gonna probably limp it. I'm hoping Jack Deans picks up a hand. I'm probably gonna limp the 2-5 off. I mean 2-5 suited. See if I can pick up the small straight, the small wheel. Um, so yeah, we're gonna limp this. Okay, so we ended up with a pair of twos, completely out of position, backdoor flush draw. If we can go runner runner. We got a bet here. We're not gonna. Even one big blind, and Mollywop raises it to 2. Probably because she feels she can uh, pressure Henry, and we've already proven that not only is Kyle a calling station, he's a fishy. So he's gonna call. Henry's gonna call. That's gonna make the flush. Also, possibly a straight flush if you have ace 5 of clubs here. So Molly bets, keeping the pressure on. She C bets. She folds, fold, picks it up without even having to show. Again, another excellent pop for Molly. We're gonna label Molly too, because Molly is definitely not a fishy shark. She's another person to eye on. Ace King off here in. We're gonna actually hide under this cutoff here and see if we can. Molly is definitely a shark. Um, she's like what we want to be. She is a little loose. I'm gonna make some notes here. She's a shark. She's a little loose and she's a little over aggressive. The calling station raised, but we've already seen him play with really bad cards. And he's out of position. So we have pot control and we can put a lot of pressure on him. And we now have top pair plus a backdoor straight. Henry doesn't have a stack that can hold up. So we're going to put 21 big blinds down. If the calling station wants to call us, that's fine. We mainly want to make Henry fold to get it down to 2 or 3. Henry goes all in and he folds. That's fine. No straight draw. Like I said, backdoor flush draw. We're gonna cover this all. We want to get doubled up, and we end up getting double. We end up getting doubled up. Actually, tripled up basically. We pick up 137 big blinds off our fishy here, putting us at the highest, passing up Mollywop for the highest stack at the table. And we're raise ace 3 in the cutoff. This down to 5. Well, this guy is kind of a nit. He is way tighter than he probably should be, but at the same time, he's not. Uh, okay. We have what's probably another calling station here if we lean on him. He's got a small stack, so if we lean on him, he's probably going to fold. We're going to put in 12 big blinds. He's got the 10. Let's check and see if he puts in the rest of his stack, which he should. He didn't. He got 8s and 7s. Not bad. Not bad. He picked it up. He carried the 2. I think he would have, if we would have bet that last one, I think he would have bet. We're still big stack at the table. We now have ace king. We want Jack Deans to pick up something like. Nope. All right. So he didn't pick up anything. We're gonna big blinds. This ace king. Our fishy has not brought us any more money. It's gonna be me and Molly head up. We're gonna have to really keep an eye on this. Fishy got more money. Fishy went and got the credit card from. Oh, excuse me. He got more state cash. He went and got the credit card from Wifey to buy himself a pack. We're gonna bet the pots. And I think Molly's going to come back at us. No, Molly's going to fold. Backed up. This guy over here, I kind of want to take him down just because he's talking smack. Molly agrees. 10-5, offsuit, we're check. I think he's just going to go all in. First guy, Bantam. Just going to Van Tom, whatever. Okay, no, he's going to raise, though. He is going to raise. We're going to fold 10-5 off. I agree with Molly. He's probably a fish. Molly is definitely somebody I want to watch out for. I want to be aware of them at the table. We're going to go ahead and add some more notes. Molly here. So a little over aggressive. Spelling words is important times. A little over aggressive. But definitely still a shark. Definitely still something you want to, somebody we want to be aware of. Somebody if we go heads up with, we want to keep an eye on and make sure that we're playing our hands correctly and we're playing. We're not being over aggressive. We're not going in where we don't need to go in. This guy is a fishy and a calling station, so we love him. See him, we're basically gonna get money, get state cash rather. We're basically gonna be in it. So there you go. All got the 10. Got the 10 here. Got ace 10. We're really great. We got a pair of jacks. He actually pays off the fishy. So this guy is apparently, which we knew. We were pretty sure this guy here was a bigger fish than the calling station. But again, the calling station bet with I don't remember what that was. I'm gonna fold. I don't know why I was thinking. I wasn't thinking. I was thinking about what Kyle Weezy had. I can pull up like that'll. Yeah, he had Jack 4 offsuit, and he bet that on this board. He bet Jack 4 offsuit on this. That is a horrible idea. I don't know what this person here was betting, but Jack 4 offsuit here is a moronic call. You're calling into straights. You're calling into way better pairs. You have a king and a queen on the board. Calling into over pairs. You're betting into stuff that you should not be betting. Like that is not. I have yet to see Kyle Weezy play a premium hand, which is why he is efficient. I have yet to see Kyle Weezy play a premium hand. I've seen Kyle Weezy folded. I don't know what Kyle Weezy would have had to fold that. Yeah. See, Molly's upset because our cash box here stop paying out. And I understand that. I want the cash box to pay me too, but Queen 2, offsuit, even in the big blind, yeah, he doesn't understand why you would possibly straddle. He should never straddle. I am not a fan of the straddle. I don't like it. I am pretty much going to decline straddle all the time. The only time I would straddle is if it's like a 4-player game, um, and everybody is super passive. Try to get some more money in the middle, before the blinds. That way, if they even have to call, they this guy is really mad at Molly. I think just because Molly does play a lot of hands, she's not as tight as she probably should be. So she's actually, I'm gonna put a little over aggressive and a little loose. She is very, or they again. It's Molly whopped, so that definitely could be a guy, a little over aggressive and a little loose. Um, but again, they are stacking. They are doing really well. Um, they're not as over aggressive as they could be. They are in probably too many hands. He's 7-3. He actually picks up a. I don't know what Jack was betting on. That's crazy because this guy is kind of a rock. But the bigger fishy here keeps feeding our fishy, which is actually really fine because then again we're gonna dump off, which is actually really fine because that's giving money to our fishy, so he can give it back to us at some point later once this guy here has given his money to our fishy. And because this guy's playing everything, he just went all in. He may actually have a hand here. No one knows. He's mucked repeatedly into horrible cards. He just mucked into a 7-3 suited. Sevens, you do not want to play this. He is an insane person. Please just fold. Thank you. For your sanity, fold. The fishy's going to play with 6-10 suited. Queen 4 off. What he's playing. This should. They don't show equity here, which is kind of killing me a little bit. 6-10 suited should have better equity here. They're deciding if they're going to run it once or twice. They're going to run it twice, apparently. Which is probably going to make a chop. Nope, that's once. I thought that was high. Okay, so our fishy is now excited. He has won several pots. He is feeling, should be able. They are feeling good. Again, Kyle, probably a guy. They are feeling good. We are going to be able to take this money off of them. Stay here. Van Tom is done. He's leaving. He's come. He's dumped his 40 big blinds on the table. Or maybe 80 big blinds. I don't know. He's dumped his big blinds on the table. And so you have a nice. Me and Molly are actually even now. If Molly keeps dumping cash on the table here, won't stay that way. Checks all around. Ace King. If Molly had an ace, she would have bet. So I don't think Molly has an ace. Jack is in the hand, and he is a very tight player. Uh, Not aggressive, I will say that. He is very much a rock and knit. She's not giving him action, which is good. Esplike is giving him action, of course. She calling station action. She should fold here. He's signaling an ace, even ace deuce here. Okay, so Molly doesn't fold. We'll see what happens with Jack. I get the feeling Jack is a rock, but I didn't see what happened a minute ago when he lost to the calling station. Okay, so here's 62. He may have ace 4, which would be a monster at this point. Let's see if the calling station's going to dump everything he's got. No, he's not. Molly should fold here, but I think she wants to see what he's got. Got a pair of 4s. She had aces and 4s. Very nice. Nice hand. I got to give her a nice hand for that. That was well played. That was played very tight, just the right amount of aggressive. I think I probably would have folded there, even with the ace, because he was signaling either trip fours. Pardon me. I should have muted my mic when I did that. I apologize. I'll probably edit that out in post. But he was signaling trip fours. I probably really would have folded rather than pick that pot up because I don't think the equity, and I may, it's highly likely I'm going to run through several of these hands after we leave. I don't use an overlay. I don't, um, afterwards, I will go and put hands into a large language model so that I can get a ace 8. I literally always play. I haven't had it since you guys started watching me, but I do literally always play ace 8, and this would be a killer spot to have ace 8. Um, so you had the best hand on the turn, and then the river made your hand even stronger. We're gonna fold off because it's now up to 9-handed, and we would like to actually not lose our stack. Um, but I always play ace 8. I have a thing for the dead man's hand. I don't play 7 deuce. I don't play the 7 deuce game. If you're from that, I don't play 7 deuce. I don't like 7 deuce. I don't think it's funny to play 7 deuce or to flip 7 deuce on somebody and be like, "Oh, I beat you with the worst hand in poker." I don't care. But I will pretty much always play ace 8, even though it doesn't have any equity on a straight, just because it's ace 8. I like it. 8 has one of the better pair possibilities. If you pair your 8, you have an ace backing. Um, and obviously you can always, but Molly here raises very aggressively from the small blind. But now we don't know what Texas Jaybird plays like. Their first hand in the game. So I probably would play slightly more passive against them. It doesn't look like Molly's going to do that. Molly is going to, she check raised and got called all around. Jack has gone on monkey tilt. He's gone from about 150 big blinds down to big blinds. He is quite probably on monkey tilt. Even if he picks up this pot, it's going to be about break even, a little up if he picks up this pot. Not sure what he's on. He did check the flop. Again, I'm not paying as much attention as I should, getting used to talking to you guys while I'm playing, so I'm not paying as much as I should. To plus also um so getting used to doing everything I'm doing. So I'm not paying as much attention as I should, which actually, to be honest, I probably wouldn't be paying as much attention. I'm probably actually paying more attention calling hands for you guys than I would be otherwise. I would actually be mainly focused on raid right now and kind of just running the casino in the background. He's got a pair of queens. He's got a pair of 7, so he'll actually pick up 94 big blinds, which again will about break him even for what he's 7 deuce off is trash. Again, don't play the 7 deuce game. Sure as heck not from big blind. I will, I'm obviously gonna play 7 deuce. They check it around to me. I'm not gonna toss 7 deuce, but I would really rather like somebody to bet. I think Molly's gonna bet because Molly seems, especially on the button. I'm in a good position. Nope, Molly's gonna limp it in. Let's see if Jack's gonna limp it in or if he's gonna fold. Jack folds. Uh, pair of 8s and a 5. That's because nothing don't win with. Oh, I did say Barbish. Hold on. Let me switch over. I'm sorry, I didn't put up the thing. Okay, so we got the Ordinator, which I've never had. That's cool. Dark Elf. We like Dark Elves. We have quite a few Dark Elves, but we do have, I think we have a 50 stack Dark Elves. Um, I don't have an 8 or a 5 or an ace to really back this up. There's really no reason to bet here. I really just want someone to bet so I can fold. But the fishy is not going to bet. This guy seems kind of vicious too. I would love Molly to bet. Molly Wop, and Molly Wop does bet, and I will certainly take that fold. We're gonna go ahead and crack this next crystal here, guard or whatever. Got another metal shaver. This is our second metal shaver, which is great. He is a good unit. Him for I already have one. I'm not too worried about it. 78 big blinds, and our fishy duck. She had ace 5. Goes ahead and showed, or they go ahead and show, and they had ace 5. Full aces of eights, full of 5s. If I don't play this hand right now, let me go ahead and this. Actually, maybe a hand I play. Right now I have Jack 9 suited. In the small blind. Ogre and Jailer. Again, 3 rares, not Jack's gonna raise, so I'm gonna fold. Jack's gonna raise on the button, I'm gonna fold. Folded Jack 9 suited. I don't think that's a bad call at all. If I crack something interesting, I'll pull you back over. But right now, we're gonna go back to Dragon. Hey, do we need to go back to doing Dragon? The tournaments really don't like loading when you go over here. Right now we have a 2865 rainbow board with a very small backdoor flush draw. And got Molly, Jack, and short stack S-Ply in. Jack just folded. Got a paired 5 on the board. I do. Dragon turn. Check, check, 8s and 5s. And Molly apparently was bluffing and checked back something less than a pair of 5s. I'm guessing ace high, which is not good. I got a 9-6 suited, so we do still need our chicken. I'm going to go ahead. Social Casino. We're going to play. We have a new guy here, a new version, that put ace raise in under the gun, but we have pot control. So even with all 8 people in, because we have our call station here, call, and S-Fly seems to like to see a lot of flops. 10, 9, 7, 6. We got a gut shot. Yes, I actually did have to count that out. We have a gut shot there. So we're definitely betting here. Let's see if Bello bets, because they did open aggressively. So let's see if they c-bet. If they c-bet, we're going to c-bet. We're coming over the top. All right. So they're signaling something like aces or kings. I guess technically they could have pocket 10s. We have a backdoor flush draw. We have a straight draw. We have a lot of outs, and their bluff equity is good. So we're gonna come over the top and see if we can't make something happen. If they re-raise, we're probably gonna fold. Just because it's entirely possible that they have. If they check here, it's a sign of weakness. We definitely go in. Going for 50% of the pots, which is about a third of their stack. And they go all in. I don't think we want to cover 81 big blinds. I think it's better to let this go. I would love to see what that last card is if we make our straight. We only have what's probably like one or two outs. If we had a flush draw here, I would probably go for it, but I think we're gonna fold. It was well played. I don't think they had it, but we know we didn't have it. We know we didn't have it. So it was well played. I think again, they're very aggressive. We just have to make sure that when we put in, we have it. Um, I didn't want to lose another 80 plus big blinds on a draw there. I think that was a very disciplined fold. Again, gonna take some of these replays and run them on the large language model. See what the large language model thinks. Try to understand uh, where I'm making good calls, where I'm being too passive, where I'm being too aggressive. Make those smart decisions and play well. That's what I'm really, really trying to do is get better. I'm hoping you guys come with me on that journey. Like I said, I've gone from a big downswing to an upswing in the past 24 hours. I was on a downswing for the past about 2 weeks. I've been on a downswing. I seem to be coming into an upswing, which I'm really, obviously excited about. Right now, I'm just picking champions that I'm gonna level up. Uh, let's skip. I probably need to level them up, but I'm not gonna. Like I need. I'm probably gonna just give them. So our call box, real quick, coming back to the action. We have Mollywop. We have our call box. Feature Fish in here. We haven't seen what Manny does. We haven't seen enough out of Bello to know if they're a luck boxer, psychopath, or what. Molly's in the cutoff. Does a nice cutoff of 27.5 big blinds. She wants him to call, but no, two folds. And she picks up 20 big blinds, which is very nice. Much better than I did. Much better than I did. But then again, she's going up against a pretty passive player in the call box. And I think she had it there anyway. I don't think the call box, the calling station here is going to. We've seen clearly they are fish. They bet bad hands. Now they're back under 100 big blinds. But let's see how many big blinds they want to dump on the table. Probably going to see a call out of them unless they have just complete monkey trash cards. They call. Molly's probably going to call again because she's a little loose in my opinion. Um, yeah, and then let's see if Jack call. Jack call. Monster's very passive. I think Molly's gonna. Nope, Molly didn't bet in the cutoff there. See if Jack bets. If he checks, nope, he bets. Big blinds, signaling straight or a flush draw probably. River Monster folded like I expected. With very very aggressive pre-flop. They were the one that raised it to 11 big blinds, and then just auto fold out of position to the raise from expecting. 6-8 off. We're dump. Jack Dean's again in with big raise. Our calling station. Calling station's call. Bello folds. Let's see if Manny's going to call. Again, very passive from what I'm seeing. Mollywop's almost certainly going to call that because, again, no, they re-raise. So they 3-bet this. Jack's probably going to call, as is the calling station. So we're going to be a three-handed. Again with Molly, this out of position, but still with the stack, still can put a ton of pressure, make these guys make decisions, large for stack like they just did. 32.5 bigs is a jack. It's 75% pot. Jack's really agonizing over this. I'm thinking he probably has jacks. I was worried that Molly has aces. Really quick call from the calling station, which doesn't surprise me. 106 big blinds, which is crazy. She's over the top here. They're over the top here. Calling station will probably go all in. They did. Pair of jacks, pair of fours. Again, may have gotten here. Calling station just having trash. So she just dumped a huge, and this is why I said she's too aggressive. She dumped a huge portion of her stack back to the calling station. Calling station now has 200 big blinds, has made back a lot of what they lost. They're still down, but they've made back a lot of what they lost. And they may leave. They very well may leave after that pot because now they feel good. They got the dopamine hit. They may fold out of this hand. No, they're going to go all in again. I would love to be able to have been in a position to be able to call this. Molly leaves after dumping most of her stack. 9-7 off. Very likely that Jack. Oh no, only friend is going to pick up this most. No, what only friends had? I have to go back and look at that. I swear only friends had that. But no, Jack is now big ups after pulling a ton, pretty much everything that Kyle just won. You're going to have to give me a minute. I'm going to have to step away. I'm going to take a sit out. I'm going to pause the stream. Is that on the other screen? I'm going to pause the stream while I go get me some water. I will be right back. I'm going to take a sit out on poker, and I'm going to pause the stream. If I can. Again, it's been a minute since I've done this. So if I can remember how to pause this, I can. I'm going to stop the recording, and then I'm going to start it again, and I'll together later, because I don't know it. Okay, I'm going to stop the recording. I will be right back. For you guys, it will be literally no time. Alright. I am back. If you can see the timer here, I think you can. If you can see the timer here, it shows I've been going for about 4 minutes. I'm going to come back. I'll end up having to pay my big blind. River Monster went all in against the call box. Call box is all in. J1313. Only Friends is all in. Only Friends has King Queen, which has to be a heartbreaker. And now, Luck Box calling station over here picked up some more money. I'm still going to be waiting for another hand. He lucked into that. He rivered that. River Monster is going to put up 73.5 big blinds. Jack going to raise on the button. Calling station's going to call, obviously. A couple of new players since I left. Everybody else is still here, but we have Tom Bomb now and JJ. J1313J. So we're going to call JJ probably after them for 2. They have a very small stack, 28 big blinds. Probably came in with min stack, as did Tom Bomb probably, or they may have lost a bunch of money. They probably have the Jack here, maybe Jack Queen, unless they're, I don't know why we covered that. We do have the Jack. He does not, but now he randomly catches 3 of a kind, which still doesn't help. Nice hand from Jay. I'm going to give him a nice hand because that was a nice hand. He played that well. I don't know why Jack covered him, other than being didn't believe he had it, but there was no reason to bet that. There was no reason to believe he didn't have it. We haven't seen him play enough. We haven't seen him. I mean, like I said, he was short stacked. We tripled him up now. He's got a decent stack. He's actually fourth at the table, but really Kyle Weezy is the calling station, so really he's like third at the table because pretty soon these 240 big blinds, 250 big blinds, because he's got 9 in front of him, are going to be in somebody else's stack. At least about 100 else's stack. So JJ is probably going to probably fine. I'm not playing a lot of hands. I know that. Um, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not here to necessarily entertain. I'm really enjoying the poker commentary I'm doing. If I can actually just do that, kind of do the poker commentary, kind of talk through what are good hands, what are bad hands, especially without knowing what people have, because it's the all in, ace king. Um, he's against two pair of a low pair, which kind of again has to be heartbreaker for Jack. Jack cannot catch a hand, but JJ is playing strong. He is definitely a monster. I wouldn't say it was sick. I would say he's definitely a shark. Let's go ahead and put a sharky on him. Very sharky. We don't know what kind of shark yet, but he's gone from 28 big blinds to 248 big blinds in record time. Um, I don't know how well he has everybody staked out at the table. Again, we haven't played any hands. I'm being a little nitty. Also, I'm just catching cold cards, to be honest. Um, so looking at it, these chips here are probably going to go right back to Jay. I think Jay's the one that lost him earlier. Again, I'd have to go back plays. I'm gonna go back to a lot of these replays and examine the thought processes and why we're doing stuff. I don't know if I can download the replays, which would be awesome. I don't think I can. I think I'm gonna have to just do as many as I can uh, while I'm trying to do stuff, um, and stay as close as I can. Pick ones that I really want to get the information on and get those. My 5 minute time limit runs out. Maybe play a few hands in between to try to get as many of them as I can. Jack 5 again, just horrible hands, guys. It's getting late. It is 10:30 here. Like I said, normally by now I am almost in bed. I decided I'm gonna go probably another full hour, 5 minutes. So I'm probably gonna go to almost midnight, and then I'm gonna eat and get ready to go to bed. I am tired, so I may not be as talkative, which sucks for content, but it will give us like a 3 hour video. I'll also probably chop it up into the good hands, maybe make it short. We'll see what I do. It also depends upon how lazy I am. This may never see the light of day. It's entirely possible this will not see the light of day. I will say that I am enjoying this a lot. Um, okay, so our call box calls JJ full and leaves. So we got queens and eights. Monster picks up a big pot. JJ folded and left. We never got a shot to play a hand with him, which kind of makes me sad. We're gonna play 3-6 suited here just because we can, and it's a 7 card hand, and the only person we have here is the call box. We got Bello here who lost a little bit of money to, not really. He fold. We got small stack, and Jack who a bit of a psychopath, but we out of position here. Big blind. We should check this. because the call box is going to call us. You can't bluff a call box, and he's after us here. We would love for him to be before us in this spot. Tom Baum, we're gonna toss this. We're gonna let Tom Baum pick it up if he's got it. Um, he's signaling the ace, but he's also on the button, so he has pot control. So he could have a lot of things. He could have Queen X, Jack X. Um, wow, our calling station put in 25, so he actually didn't call. And now if we have a 10, no, 10 Jack. I lie. See, that's why I'm stupid. Um, wow, Kyle had the Queen High straight. We gotta give him a nice hand for that. That was exactly what wanted to see. He fix up Tom Baum's stack. Um, fresh and ready to dump it back on the table for us, which we're excited about. We're now big stack at the table. After JJ left, so we got about another 45 minutes, 50 minutes to make some money. We're done with raid. We're about to close it down for the evening. We ended up getting the gold chicken, the chicken from, and we'll have maybe we'll get the chicken. And then tomorrow morning we'll probably have a blue gem to. Let's see. I think we're in this turn in our group, which should mean 103. Bello goes all in with heck. Wow, our fishy fish just caught full houses. Taking Bello's stack too. The fishy fish now overstacks me, but maybe somebody else was playing all fishy before, or maybe, to be honest, maybe he was playing fishy to lure us in to being dumb or something. All right, so I am in fifth in this tournament. So maybe he was playing like for an hour. Ah, I did it again. I muted myself. Maybe it's playing like shit for an hour to lure us all into a sense of complacency. And he's really a shark and was hiding it and is now 42 big blinds up. I don't legitimately believe that. I think he's a fish. And I think he's just got lucky and worse people calling him, and he got like he's stacked up. Again, I know that our shark Molly Wopt did dump some of that back to him. King 7 offsuit on the button. We're gonna play, but still, okay. We're probably gonna play. I mean, I'm 99% sure we're gonna play this unless somebody goes like all in. If he just comes in and tries to martingale, we're obviously gonna fold. Because we don't have a ton of equity. But if not, we're probably gonna raise to 2 to 3 big blinds and try to take it down. So apparently he didn't realize, and he went to the bathroom. Mr. eBay Jose. Guys, I'm gonna try to be politically correct and say they as much as I can. But in all honesty, I am probably going to default to whatever their picture is. And lacking that, like this is the stake symbol, their name. River Monster is very passive. They're in a horrible position. So they're probably going to fold. Vampiretta calls. Obviously, our calling station calls. Grayson calls. We haven't played any pots with him. And then we here. This is a horrible flop for our range, but we're in we're on the button, so we have a lot of control over the pot, so we can pick up that. 13.5, we picked up 10 big blinds just basically for being alive. 9-4 off, play that. Being alive and being tight. So the more hands you play, the less you're going. I mean, that's poker. That's poker 101. The more hands you play, the less you're going to. People think it's the other way around, especially new players. All in 12 big blinds. She's apparently just been sitting over here steadily losing money, and I didn't notice. So super fish again lost to our fish. Called 8-5 with nothing. This could have been queens. This could have been jacks. This could have been another pair of aces. There was a ton of things that could have been, even in the small blind, which is what they were. There was a ton of things that they could have been factory off. So that was still a really bad. Yes, they won, but that was a really bad call. And again, that's a lot of players don't understand that. They think, "Hey, I won this. I did good." But there's lucking in to a win, and then there's winning because you work the angles, counted the ideas, and you know the GTO and your outs. Grayson doesn't have anything here. He's probably going to get pressured out by the big stack. Nope, he doesn't even bother. Well, it doesn't matter. He folded. He doesn't even bother to try to pressure him out. I probably would have bet that, just seeing how bad Kyle Weasley bets. I probably would have bet that, even with like a 9, even with like a pair of 9s, like mid pair. I probably would have bet that because he would have gone in the pot with a pair of 7s. Like he could have had 7 deuce off, and I probably would have bet that, especially that small of a bet. I either would have check raised, or more than likely just did a straight call, depending upon what my hand was. You don't bluff a calling station, obviously. Again, that's one of the basic rules, something Sethy says all the time. You don't bluff a calling station, but at the same time, when they put in a small bet like that, your equity there is not horrible. I would have to look at the again. That may be one of the ones that I look at. I'd have to look at the replay, um, and try to figure out what Grayson's pot equity was compared to his stack size. But it was a very small raise. It was a very small action. It was only 6 big blinds. In my opinion, even at 54 big blinds, that's worth paying see to see what they have, to see what they're calling, they're raising with, see what they're putting action on. If nothing else, it gives you information. Basically, you're paying 6 big blinds for how much of an idiot is this guy. We know he's a calling station. Bello has turned into a calling station. He's turned into a bit of a nit. Jacks, and he mucks Jacks on 5-3-4. Should have had a flush draw there. Should have had. We have a small. We have a pair or two. Pocket pair. We'll put in to see if we get. Yeah, we'll pay. We'll put in to see if we make a set. We don't. We're out of position here. So he's a call box. Again, you don't bluff call boxes. He could have a jack, he could have a 6, he could have a 5, he could have whatever. Grayson had already bet. He raised us, so Grayson probably has a decent hand. But we also know Grayson is passive. So 5 big blinds in from Grayson. Re-raise from calling station. Most of it Grayson goes in. If Grayson has jacks, that's great. If not, again, feeding which that was a good hand. Again, I have to give him a nice hand. Even though I still yes, I'm aware that he has 400 blinds to my 206 big blinds, but I still really, he's pretty much a fish. He's playing way too many hands, and he's played some really bad hands. Now, like I said, maybe he's sitting here, and it was the long con. He dumped a bunch of money on the table to try to dupe the people that were going to be sitting here for a long time. Maybe his little brother was playing for him before, and now the guy that actually knows how to play cards came back, slapped his little brother, and made him get off his account. Maybe his girlfriend was playing for him while he was busy, and she dumped max big blinds. But he's made that back. So I mean, he can make that back. He did make that back. 5 high straight. He mucks. Mark Wright. I think this is the first time we've seen him play. I think they had. I think they picked up over 100 big blinds there. Again, 7-9 off. I'm not getting hands, chat. I'm not getting hands. I'm gonna be honest. It's not. I'm not playing because I don't want to play. I'm not playing because I'm not getting hand, and I can't play what I can't play. Not if I want to a stack safe. And we do want to keep my stack safe because it's fake money, but eh, shh, hush, little baby. Was 9-7 off, and we would have had 3 pair or trips. That's pretty good. Top trips, horrible kicker, but top trips. I think that was 9-7 off. But we're not going to play 9-7 off in the small blind on the. And see, that's the thing is that, and then see here, we got a 10. Anybody that has a 9 and a better, like 9 ace, I played before. He has 10s and 9s. Again, like I said, that was well played. So he reloads. That was well played. I'm not saying necessarily. Again, let's raise here the ace two, the ace deuce on the flop. I mean, on the button rather. We flop a flush draw and mid pair with the best kicker. Even if we get bet by Como Pope, over bet, we're gonna bet the pot here and see if we can just rake it in. If we can't, we still have a very strong position from here for the river. Got our call box going ahead and calling us. Um, honestly, we may be able to pick this up with a pair of eights and an ace. We'd like obviously something more than that, so check. We're gonna go ahead and bet the pot, but again, he's now over us, so we want to be really careful. Plus, we have a straight draw, but it doesn't matter. He dumps it. Because again, we're playing very tight. So even we're not really bluffing him. We're just betting on our outs. But because we're playing tight, we're only playing premium hands. He has to assume we have a premium hand there. He has to assume we have it. He's seen us flip too many hands that are just straight up winners. And we get a dono from him of I want to say like 20 big blinds is what we're up with on that. We're still not tripled up like we were. We were up above 3 blinds a little bit ago. We haven't had any hands. It's just been kind of obviously draining the orbits. I think we played a couple hands where we ended up having to dunk out. So we didn't just straight up lose. Lost to jacks. I don't know how you lose to jacks. I didn't really that board. I was kind of spaced out because again, I am tired. We're not gonna limp in. We're gonna 3-bet this ace 7 off. Even though we're in jack. The calling station calls. I think Homophobe is going to fold. Jockandria we haven't seen, but we have a 7 still in a good position. And Jockandria's check. We're going to pot. Let's see what the calling station does. Calls. Jockandria folds. So he's going to check. We're going to bet the pot again. I hope he folds here. And he does. And we take it down again. Just applying pressure here without him having the information. That's what's so important about not being out of position. He's on the button now. So even if we had a moderate hand here, which obviously 8-5 is not, but even if we had a moderate hand here, he's under the gun? No, he's under the gun +1. But a raise from under the gun +1 is a horrible spot. River Monster is much a rock. So, I don't know. Like, they're rocky, they're fishy. Like, it's weird. And Coma Pope is small stacked. So, we'll see what they do. If they just sit behind with like 11 big blinds, they bet. But they bet really small. So either they're trying to get more chips in the pot, because now they have like a baby side pot, or they think they have it and aren't sure. So pair of two, tens and twos, nines and twos. So he won the side pot. So Comophobe didn't have anything. I don't know why he was betting there. I guess hoping that nobody had it, but he shouldn't have bet the second round. When everybody covered that first round, he definitely shouldn't have bet that second round. Especially not with the small blind coming up. He already had his big blind, but he's got the small blind coming up. Now there's 4 big blinds he calls. And the likelihood of him having something making any low. He may have pocket 8s, pocket kings, may even have pocket jacks, but if he had pocket jacks, he would have bet by now. So he's checking, so he doesn't even have a flush draw, or a flush, or he's being really careful. I think if I had a flush draw, I'd go all in. There's an ace. Again, a lot of rope, a lot of thought process. Checks again. Again, out of position. Calling there from the small blind is just a horrible plan unless you have a hand. And anyone that knows poker theory or game theory knows that. He's got a fold now, and he basically donated 4 chips. Calling station actually full. Nope, he's going to go all in. And let's see what we can't see what he had yet because we still have 3 hands. So maybe he had the flush draw. Maybe he has the ace of hearts. That's kind of what we're hoping for. He's trying to just take this side pot and force it out. He has a jack high flush with a 9. That's pretty good. Good job. Proud of him. We don't know what Jack was betting on. Hopes and dreams and prayers that nobody had a better hand. Nice hand, Comophobe. Proud of you. 10-8 off. We don't want to bet this, but if we get limped around to bet it. As I was saying, I should have a gym when I get up in the morning, and I'll probably cracking on that. If I remember. So we have 6, 9, 9, 10. We're out of position here. But if we apply, we have a gut shot, so if we apply pressure, it depends on if the calling box stays in. Calling station stays in, obviously. Again, you can't bluff a calling station. There's a deuce, no help. They gotta figure it's no help, but we still have the gut shot, so we're still gonna go in. We're gonna see if we can't get them to fold. All right, so there's a flush draw, and so unless he's on a higher flush, Let's check to him and see if he checks. He checks. Got a pair of nines. He's probably got, yeah, he's got 3 9s. He should have been betting harder on that, like a lot harder. Um, he should have been betting harder, and he shouldn't have. He shouldn't have checked. He shouldn't have checked back. There was no reason to check back there, in my opinion. You have 3 9s. It's pretty much a lock on that board. Um, I had been being aggressive, and the check was a very passive. But again, I didn't want to put more chips in the middle without a solid read on him. It's probably the wrong play. I probably should have been aggressive, saying, "Hey, I have the flush." But uh, when I see that, I kind of fucked myself out of that play because if you're gonna see bet 3 cards to a flush, unless you also have a pair, um, and it would have had to be like a high pair. Like I would have had to have had, I think the queen was the highest card on that board. So I would have had to have like a queen and then like ace queen, um, of ace of spades, queen of whatever else I had, or uh, queen of diamonds, whatever wasn't on the board. I think that's what I would have had to have. That's what I would have been representing, which is a very narrow range. And I don't think 5 high straight, ace high flush. Nice, nice win for River Monster. That was a hand. Very well played. I'm proud of them. They did a good job. Slowly bleeding chips here, chat. I really kind of need to get a pot in, but with the calling station, it can be so hard when we're not getting premium hands. Um, we have had him dump to us a couple of times, but it's nowhere near guaranteed. It's nowhere near guaranteed that we're going to get, even on the button, that we're going to be able to be aggressive and he's not going to catch a hand. Like here, he could have a 5, and even just 1 5 is going to ruin our whole day because he's not going to fold trips. He's not. He's not doing it. He's not going to fold trips. It doesn't really matter how aggressive we are. You can't you can't bluff a calling station. And even if he wouldn't even think, hey, maybe he has ace 5, which is a completely playable hand, a very reasonable hand to play. Maybe he has ace 5 and I have 5 deuce, and maybe I shouldn't be playing into this, but that's not going to cross his mind. He's not going to think of that. He's not going to think of the fact that this is a backdoor flush, and if he had 3 5s, he's going to just be dunked into a backdoor flush. Somebody may have had ace 3, and just kind of betting along. May have had a jack. Jack here makes a full house. A 45 is a big bet. Full house, Jackson 5s, full house, Jackson 5s. Don't know what Jack Dean was betting on. He had the third 5, but that's never good there. Ace 6 off in the cutoff. I think we're gonna bet this. Like I really do think we're gonna bet this. I think we're about to get some fold equity. Bet and hope that most of them call, and then we're in the cutoff, so we'll utilize that position, take advantage of River Monster's overall passiveness, and expect them to fold. Fold. Uh, Again, you can't bluff a call box, but not trying to. Trying to bet hard enough that they kind of have to fold. They did. Again, we're not bluffing strictly. We're pushing hard enough that we expect the call box to fall over. They don't seem to want to call, especially from somebody who's playing tight. They don't seem to want to call 2 hands in a row. So we're gonna fold Queen 9 off here. If I can get up to, I think I'm gonna. Give me a second here. So I still got about 30 minutes of what I was thinking about playing. So I don't know if I'm gonna make that 30 minutes or not. So left. Already got a new Bello rebought and has been just kind of nitty. I'm not paying attention. I don't know if Bello rebought or if they left and then managed to come back. I think they've been just sitting over there being kind of nitty, like I said. Um, like I said, I'm really enjoying talking this out. It helps me think. It helps me keep from making stupid decisions, I think. And so even if I don't necessarily end up putting this anywhere, and I may, I mean it's zero cost for me to put it up on the internet. Um, and who knows, maybe I'll actually get a following and be able to do stuff. And nice aces ripped off the call box, I think. I didn't get a good look. Jack Dean's down again. King six off. Call box on the button. I think that we fold here. Um, Again, you can't bluff a nit. I mean, you can't bluff a call box, call station. And with him on the button, he's got too much control. I think at this point, basically, unless you have super premium hands or calls on the button, because you can give him too much power, he can make decisions. He doesn't understand how to use it, like as we've shown me using it quite a few times to have that pot control. But that doesn't mean that he's not going to use it to make a good hand. We got a pair of threes, we got a pair of sixes. He had less than a pair of sixes. It's horrible at board. Stay in, even though I mean he got checked around to him, so I guess. But less than a pair of sixes on that board, maybe an ace high. We're gonna fold here, 9 off. 4-9 suited. Sorry, not off. My apologies. Again, I am tired. I'm not joking at all. I am sleepy. Um, so again, we would have had, and see, this is another thing that bad players are going to look at and get mad because we would have had a flush draw here. Okay, even if nobody else has a flush, and we want to say Jack Dean's probably has a flush, you may have a flush. Now, Jack Dean has ace 8 and went all in for no good reason. Spoon has a pair of 6. Um, and made the flush. Backdoor flush would have made it. Kings and tens. That's great. I'm excited for him. He shouldn't have won that. There was no reason he should have won that. There was no reason he should have been with that. Um, I mean, I play, like I said, I play ace 8 all the time. So, would I have gone in with that hand? Yes, probably. Would I have gone all in with that hand? No, probably not. Would it have been just as wrong for me to play ace 8 in that position as it would have been him? Yes. That doesn't change just because it's me and it's him. Playing it incorrectly is playing it incorrectly. I am well aware that ace 8 is not a hand I should probably be going. Okay, so now I got this. I'm aware that ace 8 is probably not a hand I should be going in with most times. It's the dead man's hand. I love it. I can't say anything. I don't know why I like it. Um, but I do. So button limps, comes back around to Jack in the big blind. There's no reason Jack should be in this hand, even if he have aces. He has no pot control here, so he makes a small opening bet. It gets called. Coma Pope should have probably re-raised. On button, even with a small stack. So check, maybe bet, small bet. I didn't see 11.5. So 75% of the pot. Kyle full. Which makes sense because it's a 7 to make it straight on the board. Hard to make it straight, and generally Kyle straddles again. No reason to straddle. No, there aren't a lot of people in the game, but we play Ace 8 here, 8-7 here out of position, straight up against the call box. Yes, let's go ahead and get our money in. We paired our 8. We have an ace in the board. Got a 6. We don't have any flush action. I think we're still gonna bet the pot. He's probably call. Now we have a 4. No real help, so we're gonna bet in. If he's got the ace, we're gonna end up paying him. But now we have the flush draw plus we have the 7-6-5-4. Yes, we have the straight. So we're gladly gonna bet the pot. If he takes it, then we up over B. I have the 8 straight. Look, I'm tired. Don't give me crap because I couldn't recognize that was a straight. I had to like count that out to recognize that was a straight. You're lucky I didn't have to count it out on my fingers. All right. Um, that's relatively, that is not as far away as I would like it to be. Having to count that out on my fingers. We're gonna dump the small blind. Um, Ace 9-10, nice to dump because King Queen got a gut shot. Backdoor flush draw. Wouldn't have been good enough for us. Come of Hope raises half, or no, sorry, Bello raises half. Come of Hope calls for probably no reason. He's probably going to get pushed out here. Bello bets 13, which he should. Nope, Bello checks. Basically in the cutoff. Again, it's not in the cutoff, but it's as far as this goes. Come of Hope bets 5, which is not big enough to push anyone out. Bello raises chips. Bello has ace and 10s. Come up at the jack, the ace high straight, which is great. That's very good for him. I don't think he played that correctly. I would have went ahead and went all in. There was no reason to make them put you all in. I know he wanted to save a few of his Jack Dean's raised, and I have ace queen. I don't think I'm gonna play that. Ace sorry, Queen 8 suited. Apologies. Again, very tired. Queen 8 suited here is not a great look. Could we make a lot of flushes, we could make a lot of top pairs. There's a lot of things we could lose to, like here. And we only have a little bit of equity on the 10-8-7. Now we pair our queen. We would pair our queen again, not good. So Jack is representing that he has a queen, and the likelihood of him having a queen and having a higher kicker than us is pretty fucking high. So we made the right choice there. Again, like I said, I want to do the examination like I should, but I don't think I'm going to be able. Honestly, I don't think I'm going to be able to 100%. I should, and I wish I could. This has me up $2 or 2 state cash. This has me up 2 state cash, which is probably right. It doesn't track wins and losses correctly, but it does appear. Because I was down. I did dump 2 state cash earlier, and then now I'm up state cash. I'll eventually get used to not calling it DM word. It may cause me a strike from YouTube before I do. 3-9 UTG +1. We're not gonna bet that. Bellows come back and done some stuff, and I don't even want to limp that. All right, and then Dave Dog raises. And see now, Kyle's now down to 171. He was up at 400 big blinds at one call, or if you weren't here, you fast forwarded through that part. He was up at 400 big blinds at one point, and he's dumped it all back on the table. And that's not to mention the 300 big blinds he was behind. I'll probably make a montage of Kyle just donking into stupid people and losing massive amounts of cash. Because that does well, I think. 68 big blinds here. Como Pope's 33 has him fully covered, saying I have the jack. And he does. Obviously, he has the jack. I don't know why Como Pope donated Dave Dog there some money, but he did. I'm pretty sure Dave Dog would have gladly just taken that directly into his Venmo or his PayPal. Como Pope, you could just ask him for it next time you want to donate him some stake cash. Again, not money. Again, probably going to get a YouTube strike before I stop saying things like that. Very nice. Didn't make a pair, but we do have 4 cards to our flush. We are in a horrible position, but we're still going to re-raise here. We have played tight. They should recognize the strength of the 3-bets. Or, well, the re-raise. It's not really a 3-bet until you get raised or whatever. River Monster's probably going to fold. They're taking a nap. Indeed. Because they don't play enough to really care about their life. They're back. Okay, they're going to call. That's an interesting call from River Monster. We about it. Now we have a gut shot. So now we have a gut shot plus. We're going to want to bet. We actually want to overbet the pot here. So we want to overpot jam here to really kind of drive home. Look, we have this, and we did. And that's rabbit hunting. We picked up 19 big blinds. With little to no effort there. Again, the size of the stack made such a big difference there. We're on the big blind with 8-5 dime, 8-5 suited diamonds. Limp. If it gets limped around to us, play it. We're paying 3 big blinds to play it. I don't think we are. Again, there's not enough that even if we backdoor the flush all the way, or pick up the straight because it could be 6-4. 8, we would have a pair, but we have the flush draw staring us in the face, so we can't take advantage of that. There's the 10, 42 big blinds out there, and no one is doing anything. No one's moving on it. Como Pope can. He's going to put 1 big blind in, and no one is going to give a shit. That's the problem there, Como Pope. You put in 1 big blind, no one gives a fuck. It basically just begs them to raise. You got a pair of 7s, they got a pair of 10. Bello 100% should have been betting that entire pot, betting that whole game. So 9-6 off. What I'm gonna do, actually, after I fold this 9-6 off, I'm actually gonna go over some of the highlights, some of the games that I want to look at, and I'm gonna put over here on my other screen. I'm gonna put my happy little helper, and I am going to run some numbers while at the end of the stream here. If you guys are still here, you're champions. If there's anyone watching this, you're a champion. I love you. I can't steal that. That's Seth's stuff. But I'm gonna sit out, and we're gonna pull down some replays here quick. So let's start here. Let's watch this hand play for play. So we know he has aces, right? That's what we know he's sitting on. He's sitting on aces. He raises, and everybody calls. So he raises, everybody calls. He bets strong here. but again, probably not enough to really make a difference. And hold on. I want to see what he did here because I think checked the turn. Um, there is the flush draw out here, right? So he's got the flush draw he's looking at, and he checks and they check. He needed to get more chips in the pot right here. If somebody's got the flush draw, somebody's got the flush draw. If somebody's got the flush, somebody's got the flush. I think you have to put in chips there, and you have to make them raise you. Um, I think really, honestly, even I think there I would have put in chips. Um, you have no overpairs that beat you. Yes, the flush beats you. There's no straights that beat you. Um, I think there I would have had to put in more chips. I probably would have put half pot size bets to seal that. I think that would have been the right call. He checks. We get the 10. Checks. So again, very, very, very passive. Very small call, small ball play here. He checks. Call. He could have got a lot more out of that with those pocket aces. I know he didn't have, and somebody could have connected here. It's possible, but I really think he could have got a lot more out of those aces than he did. He got 42 big blinds. It's not bad. Definitely not bad. I mean, there's way worse ways to do life, but it's definitely not bad, but it's not great either. So let's go back to the next hand. I had ace deuce. I picked this one up. I don't think that's a question on how I played that. In fact, actually, we're gonna run hands back because so let's see. Let's look at some of our big ups here. Here is a 152 stake coins with an 8 high straight. Let's watch this thing. Let's see how I play. Um, so I am on the big blind, ace 7, uh 8-7 suited. I pair my 8. I c bet, get called. I c bet again, get called. I have the straight here, like I said. I mean, and then yeah, yeah. So our call box basically just gave us 100 big blinds. Uh, is this a tough one? I don't remember. We had 6-8, 6 ace off. I think this was just us being in the cutoff and overplaying, playing aggressively, even though he stacked us. And I think we mentioned that when we were playing the hand, that he stacked us and that we had to be really careful, because he did call the turn, and he very easily could have had the king, could have had a pair of kings, but we pushed hard enough and we took that one down. Let's go. Let's see what some big ones might work. Any big losses? I don't think so. Kind of scrolling for big losses. Okay, here is a big loss. Let's play this big loss. This is a loss about the same size as that earlier when we won. So let's play this. This is it looks like Bella wins the pot. And I do what I'm hoping is a rather disciplined fold. We'll see. 9-6 off. Or 9-6 suited. No, play. Sorry. 9-6 suited. Let's get to where we were. Okay, so 9-6 suited on the button. Raised from bellow. I'm gonna slow this down so I can talk about it while we go. Raised from bellow. Obviously we call. Um, everybody calls. Lots of action. 8-handed because of course our calling machine calls. Um, flop comes king 7-10. So we have a gut shot. We have a gut shot. We have a gut shot. Check, check. I want to say Bello bets here. Yeah. So he bets a third of the pot, which is a small bet. It really seems like he wants to get called. Really seems like he has kings and he wants to get called on that. And he wants to make his trips. Um, so fold, mollywop. We love mollywop. I came over the top, fold, call box calls, and bellow calls. A deuce here is a horrible, horrible turn, but I feel that I have to strong. I don't think I wanted to do that. I think this 36 big blinds was a really bad bet. I'm gonna ask my handy dandy assistant over here. So 9-6 suited on the button. On the button. Um, let's call it cutoff because it happened. Cutoff raises on the king, 7, 10. Let's go ahead and tell it what we 9, 6. It doesn't necessarily like. I can technically make 9 and 6 of hearts, 7 diamond. I think we could probably put, and it'll pick it up. It's a large language model. It's relatively right. 2 of clubs and cutoff raises on the flop. We re-raised off that, right? I want to say, yeah, he raises, we re-raise. Re-raise. Call. Call. Work. Wait. Sorry, I know this is boring, but I really do want to know, uh, what I did here. We re-raise, call. Turn come to clubs. We overpot jam there. I think we did. I really want to say we overpot jam, or we 50%ed. Yeah, we 50%. 32. We 36. Yeah. We uh go in front pot. Uh, cut off. Uh, all right, now that I have it typed out, I'm gonna go ahead and bring it over here, and we'll see what my other little helpers. I do not endorse Gemini. It's a very, very interesting spot. I agree with him. Breakdown on the hand action. Uh, Re-raise with 9-6 on the button. Cut off raises, you 3-bet. 2 players call to bet. 9-6 3-bet. The hand is speculative bet. Button against cut off open. That's good playability to being suited and connected gaffer. Blocks very few TOs calling and 4-betting hands. It's often included in a polarized 3-bet range. It's a standard aggressive move. So good on me. 2 other players from the lines with the original razor calling, making this a pot that stimulates hold equity post flop and pay hands. Your 9-6 works better with a bluff or a call and a single pop, but a multi-pop with this can be tricky. Aggressive, pre-flop verdict, aggressive and acceptable as a bet bluff, but having two callers and bet pot makes the hand's equity really harder. That's definitely true. So flop, 9-6, king. We have the gut shot draw, straight draw, which is true. The gut shot straight draw. They're wrong here. The Any Jacks makes a straight. We need an 8. They don't know how to math. That's fine. We're okay. Any 8 makes a straight. Backdoor flush draw needs hearts. Only 6 high, no pair. So we have, it's actually only 9 high. King 9. Yeah, it's king high technically. In a three-way multi-pot, your hand has very limited dark equity and your fold equity is low. Checking is a standard correct and least committing line. Betting would be a bluff into a tough spot because we don't bet into calling station. Checking is a correct, passive-looking but strategically sound move. Turn 2, what you have now, so I got shot straight draw, 4 outs, any 8. Backdoor flush draw is dead, still 6 high, again, high. You bet 50% of the pot, CO goes all in, you fold. Your hand has a single digit number of outs, 4 for the gut shot, the backdoor flush draw is gone, betting 50% of the pot with pure bluff, it only has 4 outs. It's a very thin semi-bluff. Your line, 3-bet pre-flop, check flop, bet turn is unorthodox and a stronger fund is suspicious. Representing an overpair that checked the flop to pocket control trap or a strong X hand. When the cutoff was the free flop opener and a bet check raise over your bet, their range is extremely strong in a multi-pot. Feels likely hand sets. If they flatted your 3-bet, 2 pair, strong 1 pair, that felt they could check raise your value. The solo bluff is unlikely given nature. You have 9 high with a 4-out gut shot. You're getting called by almost all of the CS range, and you're crushed for their value hands. Folding is 100% correct move. You made a bet, a mistake, or at least a very aggressive bluff. You corrected by folding pressure. I completely agree with the evaluation, even though they had the gut shot hand incorrect. I completely agree with the evaluation. I think the best shot was their folding. I did only have 1 out. It's the 4 8s. And everybody was in, so anybody could have had an 8, obviously. So really, I counted as closer to 2 8s. So really close to 2 to 3 outs, maybe. A maximum. So I will definitely believe he could have had kings. He could have had 10. He could have had king 10. He could have had anything really. And we were betting on a gut shot, so I really think that was the right move. The evaluation may be right that it was a little aggressive to go as hard as I did. Here is another hand where I may have went a little aggressive. This is 3 of a kind 9s against just gutter. Let's see what I was betting on here. Let's see what the thought process was. If you're staying here for the really boring poker examination, thank you again. We're about done. Let me back this up. I didn't get a look at what we're previous step play. So I am on the big blind, 10-8 off. Really weak. I must not have called. I must have checked. So we took the free check. 699. We have a gut shot. So I guess really that's my weakness right now is apparently gut shots. I'm very questionable to a gut shot. I will overbet and be over aggressive on a gut shot. And that looks like something I need to watch for, tighten up on. He had a pair of 9s, or trip 9s, which, obviously a strong hand. If I would have had the flush, the club flush, but we split that, and it really just ended up being we didn't get it on the turn. So gut shots is something I really have to watch out for. It seems to be something that's definitely a weakness for me, that I can overcommit into a gut shot and end up either uh, pushing it all the way like that and losing, or pushing it elsewhere. So this hand, we had aces and eights, we had king eight. We looks like we just got a huge stack. We started with top pair and just kind of held it through. This is when we stacked Kyle. Run it through quick. I think this is the last hand we're going to analyze. And I don't think this hand requires a lot of analysis. I mean, I was ace king. Um, I called. I like this move. I think this move is very strong. And I think I made the right choice here to all under Jack Dean's to disguise the strength of my hand. I think that was a really well thought out play. It very much disguised the strength of my hand to call this. Kyle obviously overbets the pot. Um, Jack Dean's calls. I call. I have ace king, and I clearly took a few minutes, but had ace king. I was probably talking about whether I was going to call or not with you guys. We pair our ace, and the only thing that beats us is pocket aces. Um, which Kyle's representing pocket aces, so we're a little worried about that. We have to be worried about it. He goes all in. Kyle's a horrible player. We know that. He has ace four, and we just take him to the shed here. There was no reason for this guy to be in the pot at all. He had a pair of tens. Nothing like there. He should have been playing with 210. 234. It's huge win. Probably the biggest one of the night. Um, Almost certain that's the biggest night. Um, and I think that was very well played. I think I hid my hand. I think I disguised my strength. Um, we had another one that was pocket aces. I just had some really good hands. I'm definitely on an upswing. I'm definitely feeling good. I will probably do another recording tomorrow. I'm also going to edit this. And if I'm going to end up putting it on YouTube, it'll be up tomorrow. That'll be Sunday, the 28th. That tells you when I'm recording this. But thank you guys for staying. If you stayed, thank you guys for hanging out. I appreciate it. Like I said, I'm going to put up both the full Longhorn video, the whole 2-ish hours, as well as chop it up and make some highlights of really good hands and really well played hands, and probably Kyle continually just dumping cash onto the table, fake cash, not real money, stake cash. But once again, this is not real money. This is a social casino. We're going to exit the replay here. We're going to sit out timer, which is fine. Somebody else is playing. I'm going to have to block out this name. Thank you so much for coming back and having to block out that name. I'm not gonna leave the game. I'm actually gonna minimize this, so we don't see too much. I'm gonna. I think I have a. I think I have a big picture. Do I have a big picture? Possibly. Okay, that's the closest I have to a big picture. I will probably make a big picture full screen of me at a later date. Again, I'm tired. Thank you for staying. This is much later than I normally am up. I probably won't record this late again. I just got the rats in my brain that said, hey, Shade, record some stuff and put it on the YouTube. Well, actually, like I said, it said to stream some stuff and put it on the YouTube. But YouTube's said no. I also could have streamed on Facebook, but that seems weird. I may do that, though. I may, because Facebook I think has a lot more lenient streaming requirements. I have to check that. I know that Sethy Poker plays on Facebook and YouTube, but he definitely has a bigger following than I do. But go check out Sethy Poker if you never have. And thank you so much for hanging out, chilling out with me. I appreciate you guys. I think this is double capturing. I'm very sorry about that. I'm going to switch back to the other one. So it stops double capturing. So I'm very sorry about the echo if there was an echo. I may cut that out of a longer video. We'll see. But you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for coming in and hanging out with me. And you guys have a great day.